Hello, this is John from the Swamp Diggers. You are tuned into Land Amsterdam Radio.
Hi there from Canada. This is Kid Weasel, climbing the charts on the one and only Land Amsterdam Radio Show. All indie, all the time.
Whoa, dude. That Canadian bacon I just ate made me talk funny. I need a beer.
Yeah, the mic's on.
What, the mic's on?
Yeah, hoser, just do the promo.
Oh, okay. Yeehaw. You are listening to the hottest #1 station on independent radio in Lent, Amsterdam. The best of the best, so forget the rest.
And I'm Alan. I used to own and operate trucks. I retired, and now I am owner and operator of the Honeydew Farm. It's honeydew this, honeydew that. Y'all tune in to the Lynn Amsterdam Show.
Hello.
Sorry, Lance Twist. I dropped my pick. Hey, how you doing?
Hey, Twist.
Hey, calling in for the radio interview we got scheduled for today.
I am sorry, Twist, but I don't have time for you today.
What do you mean you don't have time? This is a scheduled thing. You know the time difference.
You'll have to realize that I am a very important person. Please reschedule with my secretary.
Yeah, you're kidding, right?
Of course I am, Twist. You guitarist types are too sensitive.
Oh, yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, from Brisbane, Australia,
Ta-da.
the driving force behind the thunder from down under.
That's me.
Hey, Twist, so what is the story on the name of the band?
Oh, really, a play on words, Lynn. T-Fock, obviously. Kind of a little innuendo there just to be kind of funny. But Rockabilly, at least, boy, that's just a great name for a band. I mean, gosh. You hear that, you know exactly what you're going to get. If you hear death metal, dark angel, Satan's ass, or whatever, you know, you would know it's metal. I can say Satan's ass on your show, right, Len?
Well, I'll let that one go, but you got to remember we're catering to a family audience.
Okay. Whew. Sorry. But no, you get exactly what you hear. You hear T-Wisted Fock and the Rockin' Billillies, you're going to get some stomping good music, and that's exactly what we deliver.
Who is in this project?
Actually, pretty lucky in that department. Rock Solid Flash is on our drums. Pretty much can do anything that you tell him to do. We have the evil alter ego twin of Slick Finish on the bass, and the irrepressible, undeniable P.D. Wilson. He's got the country twang down pat, man. He's an excellent songwriter, excellent lyricist. He's got a good ear for hooks, and we work really well together. And I feel we bring the best of each other out, and I feel it definitely shows in the project.
Can you tell me a little about your history as a musician?
Music, wow, you know, just did the band thing for years and years. Got sick and tired of it. And just wanted to go out on my own and do it on my own. And that's basically where it's at. Like I said, I was raised on Elvis, and all the old school influence as far as country is still there. I started cutting my teeth on rock probably about 77 with Kiss, you know, all the big bands at the time, UFO, Rush, big-time Rush fan. You've heard of Rush, haven't you, Len?
Please.
Yeah, I kind of figured, being from Canada.
Geez, rockabilly is a real 360 from metal. Oh, well, dabbling in different styles can only improve your musical chops.
Yeah, improve chops. That's a given on any sort of thing. 360, you know, you're not really far off from that. Even a 180 is still on the same line as a 360. I feel that 360 would be onto the next level. Yes, you do come around again, but you come around again on another circle almost. It's all about expression for me, really. Metal expressed it for me at the time, but there's just something about rockabilly. Maybe it was just the way I was brought up with Elvis, you know. Scotty Moore by far, Bill Haley in the comments. My God, you know, these guys made the stuff. Everything today is an offshoot off of that. These guys are the legends, and that's really what I'm listening to nowadays. I don't listen to anything new. Everything is rooted in the past, 40s, 50s, and then this is my spin on what I see things as.
So, what does it mean to you to be an independent musician?
Independent is great as far as I have total control and I say what goes as far as the music happens. Unfortunately, that means zero money. Yeah, independence is one thing, cash flow is another. Just trying to treat it as a business. I know we're not going to get signed. It's never going to happen, and I'm not really worried about that, but I will try to carve out something here in the meantime for us. Get our music out there and treat it that way. 20 years ago, we couldn't do this stuff. Today, boy, it's a night and day difference.
Now, I know that besides being in very heavy rotation on my internet radio show, you are getting airplay on conventional radio.
Yeah, and I do want to emphasize it is well appreciated that we are in heavy rotation for the Len Amsterdam show. But yeah, starting to. We're hitting a lot of the smaller stations. There's just no way we're going to get any sort of play on the big stations. Not going to pay the money, not going to play the game. But you can put enough into the grassroots effort to start small. You plant the seeds. We're getting a lot of play really in Europe. Some here in Australia. They're not really rockabilly fanatics down here. They're more into the traditional country per se. Europe, Netherlands, gosh, England, really starting again. The seas are starting to take hold. But we get hits from all over, really. So great worldwide exposure again. No money.
A lot of musicians are placing their music on the internet for exposure by making their music available in MP3 format. What are your feelings about doing this, and specifically, how do you feel about making your music available for download?
It's a double-edged sword. Really, it depends on what you're downloading your music for. At this point in time, we're doing it just mainly for exposure. I can understand some of the other artists, they want money for that type of thing. And rightly so. I don't have a problem with that at all. You should get paid. For us, we are willing to, let that go. For now, I would rather have that in exchange for the ability for you to take our music off the computer, put it in your car, take it to work with you. Somebody says, wow, who's that? Or, and then take it from there. So for us, yeah, it's a valuable tool in that respect. Yes, we're losing money, but... So
you are in favor of the paid download concept?
Well, of course I'm in favor of it. Again, it's a trade-off. At this point in time, we're more concerned with getting our name out there. Another year's time, I'm sure things would change. It'd be a different ball game altogether.
Well, it is very important for an artist to keep control of their music. Twist, I'm detecting a little bit of a Yankee drawl in your accent there. Where are you originally from?
Yeah, originally from New York. Grew up in Tucson, Arizona, and met my wife in Flagstaff. She's an Aussie. That was about 13 years ago. And the rest is basically history. But yes, I am American by birth, Australian by choice, sir.
Twist, I'd like to thank you very much for dropping by.
My pleasure, man.
The studio audience would like to give you a big hand.
Huh? Thank you.
Thanks again to Twist from Twisted Falk and the Rockin' Bill Hillies.
Well, thank you very much.
Len Amsterdam Show, broadcasting from Canada, now heard worldwide.
G'day from Australia. This is Twist, guitarist of Twisted Falk and the Rockin' Bill Hillies, the home of Brisbane Philly rock. What makes a song hillbilly? Now, to me, it's plenty of twang on my guitar, a little bit of Pete's Elvis swagger in the vocals, and you gotta have a rockin' beat and a steady bass line, man. It's that combination that will roll you over like a locomotive train, baby. Woo! That's hillbilly music. Or should I say, rockin' Bill Hilly music. This is Thunder from Down Under, Twisted Falk and the Rockin' Bill Hillies. Now heard in very heavy rotation and worldwide on the one, the only Len Amsterdam Show. Crazy, man, crazy.
Hey, this is Len Amsterdam from Canada. This is Len Amsterdam's Open Mic Live. This is a very special comedy edition. Throughout comedy history, there's been a long list of great comics. Lenny Bruce, Jack Benny, Henny Youngman, Jackie Gleason. Now what you'll be hearing tonight is not in the same caliber, but it's meant to be funny nevertheless. Okay, Nifty, it's your turn to get up to the mic. Let's see you strut your stuff.
I got this guy that came in the other day. He says, I'm so old, he said, that I told my doctor that I wanted some Viagra. And he says, is that so you can have sex? And he says, no, I just want some so I don't pee on my shoes.
Yeah, this is fun, I got to tell you.
I went into the video store one other time, and this fellow walked in, and was an old gentleman. He's probably must have been 85, 87, and they said, well, we don't have that CD you want. Do you want to put it on reserve for later? And he looked at her and he says, lady, I'm so old I don't even make dinner reservations.
Great routine, Cliff.
Yeah, this is fun, I got to tell you.
Hello.
Hi, Len. This is Cliff from the Bullets, phoning in to do the interview for the Len Amsterdam show.
Oh, hey, Cliff. How are you doing?
Doing fine. How are you doing?
I want to thank you very much for being right on schedule.
Well, it's only good manners to show up on time, buddy.
Now, Cliff leads a very charmed life. He's living in sunny California. He's got a real hot wife, and he's in a hot band. Do your days get any better than that?
Len, if I told you they got any better than this, you'd think I was lying to you.
Can you tell me who is in the Bullets?
The Bullets primarily consist of myself and my songwriting partner Dave McConnell, and we've been hanging out in the clubs and the bars and the backyard barbecue now for a little over 30 years.
Now, Cliff, I've been to your website, and you're listing yourself as country. I feel the Bullets are a whole lot more.
We're listed as a country band, Lynn, but that's mostly due to default because it's a most generic genre to put our music in. We're really more of an R&B type, Buddy Holly type band. Do some pure country, but we don't do a lot of it because Dave really doesn't like to hear me yodel.
Can you blame him? There seems to be a big 60s influence on your music. Now, do you have a personal favorite band from that era that you feel has influenced the Bullets?
Well, my personal favorite from that era, the British invasion era, has always been the Zombies. Tell Her No, Time of the Season, She's Not There. I think they're probably one of the most underrated bands that ever was. While they were overshadowed by the Beatles and the Rolling Stones, they were tighter, better melodies, more jazzy, bluesy type band, and their album Odyssey and Oracle is actually better than Pet Sounds or Sgt. Pepper's or some of the others that really get the acclaim. But some of the others that were our favorites, bands like Ched and Jeremy and the Dave Clark Five and Gary and the Pacemakers and just about any British invasion band that came out. And then in the latter stages, really liked music by guys like Gary Puckett and the Union Gap, all the way to Bobby Darin to Jim Croce. So while there's a lot of British invasion influence, we try to throw a little bit of everything into what we do.
Cliff, I understand you had a chance to meet one of your musical heroes, Rod Argent of Zombies fame.
I've actually had a chance to meet Rod Argent and Colin Blunstone several times, and their lead guitarist, Keith Airy, is a fairly good friend of mine. We've had many a drink together. One of the stories that Rod told me not too long ago was that his song, Tell Her No, which is my personal favorite song of all time, is in the Guinness Book of World Records for having the word no in it more often than any other song. So inspired by this, I wrote a song called A Fine Pair, which recently peaked at the #1 in the country pop charts. And I chose the word baby to just see how many times I could mention the word baby in a song and kind of give it a 60s type flavor. And it was kind of my challenge and my tribute back to the 60s sound.
Now, I understand some of your history includes a stint as a disc jockey.
Yeah, Lynn, when I was trying to get through college, one of the things that I did, I was a disc jockey at a local radio station. During that time, I remember the program director came in. This was right after the hustle was really big in like 75 and 76, and he says, I've got this new record. It's they're calling it disco. So we gave it a listen, and I told him, I says, this stuff is never going to fly. And he said, are you kidding, man? This is going to be the biggest stuff since Elvis. And it turned out to be pretty big. I don't know if it ever was bigger than Elvis, but it helps explain why I'm not a disc jockey. One of the reasons I wanted to try to give jockeying a try was because back when we were in high school, Dave and I, by a series of hit and miss, happened to become acquainted with the Wolfman Jack. And we used to be able to call the station and identify who we were, and they would put us through while he was on the air. And had several times that we spent quite a while funning with him on his radio show. He was quite a nice man, and then a couple of years later he was cast in American Graffiti, became more well known, and ended up Clap for the Wolfman.
That's a reference to the Guess Who's hit record, Clap for the Wolfman. There is a guest rap by Wolfman Jack himself. Cliff, can you tell me about the songwriting process for the Bullets?
Songwriting for us, Lynn, or especially speaking for myself anyway, is really more of an inspiration than it is a process. I found that I get sparked by phrases, by things people do, or actually by a feeling that comes out that I want to try to describe. And I've found that most every song that I've written, which is now around 55 songs, generally are written in a couple of hours, because once it hits, once the spark is there, it generally flows pretty easy.
Do you have a hands-on when it comes to the production of your recordings?
Well, yes, Len, not are we involved. We are the production end of our recordings. It's very basic. Recording is done up into an MR8 multi-track recorder through a Behringer mixer for the vocals with SM58 mics. Even the drums are done in the worst possible way, which is just open air with one and maybe two mics.
This is shocking.
Then I try to master it as good as I can directly from the MR8 onto the Cakewalk program sometimes, and then straight up onto the MP3 site.
So what do you think of the internet, and specifically how the internet is now a tool for the indie musician?
Well, this indie internet thing is a great thing. It gives people like us a chance to put their music out there for public consumption. And it's a great thing because it puts control of the music in the band and the listener. The listener can hear what they want, and the band can put it out there. Whether or not you want to give them an MP3 download or not is up to you. And who knows? While it's not probable, it's always possible. It may fall on an ear someday that somebody wants to pick up your music and promote it.
You got a favorite guitar?
Yeah, I do, Lynn. I've got actually two favorite guitars. I have a Washburn Cumberland, which has a vine inlay in the fretboard with pearl inlay. I also have a 1972 Ash Fender Stratocaster. Played a lot of guitars over the years, but there just isn't anything better than a Strat.
Can you share some gig experiences with us, good and bad?
We opened a mall one time in the mid-'70s, and they asked us to play out near this fountain in the middle of this enclosed mall, and this was new back then. So here we are, just a couple of young guys playing, and that actually led to another gig where we played a fireman's graduation ball. And just as we set up and got ready to play, the PA system failed. So we took our guitars and stools and went down into the middle of the crowd of about 300 people and played for them for a couple hours till the party was over. And people were enjoying the music so much they actually asked us to come out in the parking lot and play for them some more. So we did for about another 45 minutes sitting on top of a car.
So do you like doggies?
Quickly, Lynn, my dog never leaves my side. When we go to sleep at night, there are two heads on the pillow, mine and my wife's. When we wake up in the morning, there are three, mine, my wife's, and my dog. So when my wife opens her eyes, I'll always pick up the dog's paw and kind of point it in her direction and say, hey, do you like doggies?
Well, that's a wrap. I'd like to thank Cliff Hitchcock from the Bullets for dropping in. The Bullets are on the top of my playlist and should be on yours too. Len Amsterdam Show, broadcasting from Canada, heard worldwide.
Hey there, you looking for a good time? You want thrills, chills, and unparalleled excitement?
Well, sorry about that, folks. All you're going to get is us. The Bullet Band welcomes you to the Bullet's Desert Cafe, a place where anything can happen, a place where anything usually does. Check your guns at the door and join us at the bar for a drink, a laugh, and a listen. The Bullets are proud to be part of the Len Amsterdam Show. As always, broadcasting from Canada. Hey, you like doggies?